Hi, everybody.
Welcome back.
We are in Disney's Hollywood Studios today, and we are going to help teach you how to beat the heat. We're going to give you some tips to help make your day more comfortable. You can apply these tips to anywhere in Walt Disney World, but today we'll be showing you specifically how to do it in Hollywood Studios.
Yes, and we'll also be ranking each of the attractions here based on how hot they are, so you can stay cool and they can make the most of your day.
All right, let's get started.
Let's go. Tip number 1, go indoors as much as possible.
Yes.
Go into gift shops, shows, attractions, Starbucks.
Yeah, right.
Just all air conditioned, and getting out of the sun really does make a difference. So
Yes, it'll help make your day longer and get more out of your day, I think. Enjoy it a little bit more.
absolutely. Yeah.
Specifically, there are multiple merchandise locations, like gift shops, that are kind of all interconnected. So you can walk down most of the walkways or major streets in Hollywood Studios without actually having to go outside at all. You just have to start in the very end gift shop, and you can walk straight through indoors in the air conditioning all the way to the end. So we do this a lot. It's definitely a great way to cool off and still get where you're going.
For sure. Okay,
Let's go.
let's go.
Fantasmic, 3 on the heat scale. We did this because it is a nighttime spectacular, so the sun is no longer out. However, you are not in an interior air-conditioned environment. There's some water, there's some pyrotechnics, some fireworks involved, but it's certainly not air-conditioned, and it's certainly not in direct sunlight. Beauty and the Beast live on stage, that gets a 4. That is because there's very minimal shade as far as seating goes. Everything is outdoors. There's no air conditioning, and it is quite a lengthy show. So I would say if it's possible to get it very early in the morning or later in the day, that's the time to do it.
Okay, tip 2, cooling towels.
Cooling towels.
Cooling towel. We got these, I think, on Amazon.
Yeah, we can link them below for you.
Yeah.
There's different lengths, different colors, whatever you need.
Right, you just wet them either in a bathroom sink or a water fountain or a drinking fountain outside, and they also really make a difference.
They do. It's surprising. We were shocked.
Yeah, I run hot anyway, so mine dries up pretty quickly, but
Yeah.
I just re-wet it every couple of minutes or every half hour or so.
Yeah.
So really, really big.
It really does work wonders. I think it keeps you refreshed and several degrees cooler than you would be if you didn't have one.
Right.
I highly recommend it.
And you can dab away sweat with them too.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's tip 2. Get cooling towels. They're cheap. They do a good job.
They do.
Trust them.
Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After, it gets a 2. And that is because the entire show is indoors where it's air conditioned. However, waiting in the queue can be a little bit warm. It is outdoors while you're waiting. And because it is a new show, the queue tends to be long at this point. As time goes on, it may be a lot shorter, and the wait time, it may be a lot shorter as well. So it's, for now, a 2, and it could be a 1 in a matter of months. Rock and Roller Coaster, we are ranking that as a 4. Even though a majority of the queue is in the shade, the majority of it is outdoors. So you're going to get very, very minimal air conditioning. I feel like the wait time for this ride is always quite long, usually around an hour, sometimes more. There are some fans, but it does not feel like there's much moving air while you're waiting. So it is a 4. It's another ride that while the ride itself or the attraction itself is indoors, the queue is mostly outdoors. So we would recommend waiting for this one early morning or after the sun goes down in the late afternoon or evening. Tower of Terror gets a 3 from us. And that is because it can be quite a lengthy queue, and a lot of it is outdoors. Actually, I would say about 75% of it is outdoors. A lot of it can be in the shade because they have some lush vegetation and some architectural elements from the hotel itself. However, there are some significant portions of it that can be in direct sunlight, and you're not getting any of that air conditioning.
So for tip number 3, we think it's best for you to wear lightweight, breathable clothing and maybe even a hat to help shield yourself from the sun. I've noticed here in Disney World, there's 2 different schools of thought. As far as clothing goes, one of them is the less clothing, the better. And that's fine. If that's your thing, that's fine. And then another one is wearing just looser fitting clothing that kind of helps protect your skin from the sun. So whichever school of thought you are, just make sure that your clothing is breathable, preferably lighter in color so that you're not absorbing extra heat. All of that will definitely go a long way, I think, in keeping you comfortable throughout the day.
Yeah. Again, makes a huge difference.
It does.
Okay, that was 3. On to 4.
Okay.
Frozen Sing-Along Celebration 1. There's usually no wait for this. If you're waiting, it's just waiting for the show to start. But most of the queue is indoors. The entire show is inside in a theater. And it's very cold, very air conditioned, very frozen. Vacation Fun 1. Vacation Fun is an indoor theater show. It's like a clip show of Mickey and Minnie's shorts. There's never an outdoor wait. You can just walk in. And you're walking right into beautiful air conditioning.
Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. It is a 3 on our scale. And that is because while the show and most of the queue itself is in the shade, none of it is enclosed. So you will not feel the comfort of air conditioning. The show itself is so entertaining, you likely won't notice. There are some industrial oversized fans overhead, so that certainly does keep the air moving. I don't think it's so bad, but it still earns a 3.
Okay, tip number 4. Neck fan.
Ooh.
Neck fans.
Yeah, these come in different designs. This was one of the earlier ones. It does a pretty good job, actually. We don't use it that often because it is kind of clunky, but it does do a pretty good job of circulating air around your neck and your face. The motors, the actual fan parts, are down in the front here, and then they force the air up around, all the way around the back of your neck, upwards. So it kind of keeps you cool, especially if you have a hat on. It kind of traps that underneath.
You would be surprised how much cooling your neck and face and head cools all of you down.
Totally.
Apparently it's essential.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a pretty good investment. Yeah. And you can recharge these at home. They're not necessarily battery operated. They're like rechargeable. Yeah. You can get ones that actually have like actual fans that are on the front that blow right at your face. Like there's all kinds of iterations of these. You don't have to worry about your hair getting caught in them or anything. Because like I said, the motors are actually down here in the protected part. And the holes for the air are like in the back. So even someone with long hair can enjoy these because they do a good job.
As far we're known for hurricanes in Florida, but when there's not a hurricane, there's not always a lot of moving air. So moving air artificially really helps.
It does the job, yeah. So we do recommend it. And they come in cute colors too. We can probably link this below too in the description if you're interested.
Probably. Maybe. Okay. Meet Olaf at Celebrity Spotlight 2. Olaf usually has a short line. You meet him indoors. We only gave it a 2 instead of 1 because sometimes you have to wait outside for the next groups to get in, and it's a little hot out there, although it's shaded and there are fans. But still, you're in the heat for a little bit. So 2.
Star Tours gets a 2 on our scale. And I even think that is a little bit high, only because there's typically a very minimal wait for this attraction, and the majority of the queue is in beautiful air-conditioned interior. It is kind of a long queue, and it's open to the outdoors, so Occasionally, it can stretch outdoors during the summer. However, I think this is a pretty safe bet, and most days you'll feel like this will rank a 1.
Tip number 5, get yourself a frozen treat, a slushie,
Or an ice cream.
or a gelato.
Or a gelato. Yeah, there's lots of frozen treats on property, for
There
sure.
are. There's a bunch of different locations you can do that. We went to Ice Cold Hydraulics right beyond Star Tours, right before you get to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and Leslie got
A
something.
frozen Coke. But they have different flavors too. They had like blue raspberry and I think cherry. But yeah, they have different flavors throughout property, throughout Hollywood Studios, at different locations. It's just a nice, very refreshing thing to have. And I think
Yeah.
I opted for a slushie because I feel like being contained in a cup kind of helps prevent a huge mess when it starts to melt. I've seen people with ice, like Mickey bars are fantastic, but they melt immediately and you rarely end up being able to eat it all because most of it ends up on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think it's not intuitive to think that just drinking something cold will actually cool you down or make you, like, protect you from the heat.
Yeah.
But it kind of does. Like, it for me at least, it makes the heat feel temporarily less oppressive.
For sure.
So
Yeah. And I mean, if you're feeling a little sluggish because of the heat, if you get a frozen Coke, there's also a teeny bit of caffeine in there that'll give you a little bit of a boost, I
Yeah.
think. It could be helpful. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good tip.
Thank you.
That's a smart tip. We're right.
Yeah, we're right.
We're right. We're good at this. Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
Rise of the Resistance unfortunately gets a 4. That is mostly because of how popular the ride is right now. It has a very, very, very long queue, and only about 5 to 10% of it is outdoors. However, because it is so popular, people still end up waiting outside in the sun without any shade. It's usually pretty minimal. I would say, like I said, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so of the outdoor queue, and then finally you're indoors where there is some air conditioning. However, because the queue itself is so long, people very typically wait over an hour for this ride. Even though the majority of it is in air conditioning, it can still get pretty brutal just with the waiting and just with the summer heat.
Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run 1. Now this is cheating a little bit because we almost always go into the single rider line here, which you can go directly into the air conditioning. The regular queue is still indoors, but there are some open spaces. So I could be persuaded to give it a 2, but the queue itself is indoors. So 1. Okay, tip number 6. Spray fan. Bring it, use it, love it. It is just a little fan, runs on batteries with a little water bottle in it. Yes,
Yeah.
and Leslie's spraying us.
It feels
It's-
really refreshing.
It really does. It's nice.
It's clunky. It doesn't look cool, but it is battery operated. I think it's like 2 AA's.
Yeah, and it lasts a while.
It does last a while.
And
It's
you-
like the size of a medium to large water bottle.
Right. And you can refill it at any of the same places you can get water for, drinking.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's best with cold water because it's obviously, you can see right here, it's not like insulated.
Yeah.
So the water does warm up throughout the day, but you can refill it. And
Right.
it's so refreshing.
And we're more. Thank you. Yes. And we're here in Galaxy's Edge because right inside the little marketplace here, they have a cool themed spray fan.
Yeah,
bottle.
so we can link this one below. I like this one because it has like a neat little clip-on thing on the
Yeah.
back. So if you don't have room in your bag, you can clip it onto something. But yeah, if you want a themed like Disney souvenir,
yeah,
we'll
sell
show
a
you the
bunch
one.
they sell a bunch of them here, but they sell Star Wars ones specifically. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
let's
to
go.
that. These are the Star Wars branded spray fans I was talking about. They're look industrial, like little pieces of like scrap equipment or something. Really cool. And they are
$0.
$0. Anyway, so yeah, that's a fun little souvenir that's also functional. Alien swirling saucers 4. The queue is mostly outdoors while it's shaded it's outdoor, and the ride itself is also outdoors. So there's no air conditioning whatsoever here. So it's almost as hot as it gets.
Meet toys in Toy Story Land. We gave this the highest ranking of number 5. It is very brutal. Toy Story Land in general is brutal during the day with the hot sun. You combine that with waiting in a long line with lots of very, very young guests, and you get a 5.
Slinky Dog Dash, 5. Now, this is got our highest rating again because while there are a few shaded areas, they're mostly right towards the loading station for the ride. By the time you get there, you'll be very sick of being in the sun for the rest of the queue. So, and also, once you get to Slinky Dog Dash, you're also tired from being in the sun of Toy Story Land. So, 5 all around, come prepared. It's brutal. Toy Story Mania 2. Toy Story Mania has an extensive indoor queue that is air conditioned and very nice. Rarely you will have to go outside, but there is a little bit of outdoor queue. So if you do end up waiting out there, it's usually not for very long, but just the fact that it has an outdoor queue prevented it from being a 1. So 2, not bad. Tip number 7, stay hydrated. In that spirit, you can get free waters from quick service locations around Disney World. Here at Hollywood Studios, we just went to Docking Bay 7, which is the Star Wars location at Galaxy's Edge, and just walked up, asked for a cup of water, and they were happy to give us a really nice...
It's like fresh ice water.
Fresh
I think
ice.
it's about an 8-ounce cup.
Yeah.
And if you want to really boost your hydration, you can always add a supplement like a liquid IV.
Yeah.
Now, a packet like this is technically for 16 ounces, but it will help you replace any of your electrolytes that you've lost throughout the day, in the heat.
And again, like I've been saying in almost every tip, this does make a difference. Drinking water throughout the day, staying hydrated does make a difference. All right, we're trying the liquid IV in about half the water that it's supposed to go in, and we don't have a spoon to
We're
stir.
just gonna shake it.
So this is gonna be fun, but we'll still get all the electrolytes or whatever we need.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna get double the
you want-
electrolytes we need for an 8-ounce cup.
Yeah. All right, you go first.
Oh, thanks. Cheers to staying hydrated and cool on a hot day. It's great.
What's the flavor? Strawberry
Strawberry
kiwi?
lemonade.
Lemonade?
Yeah. Okay.
It is great.
Yeah. Very refreshing. Ice
Refreshing, hydrating, strawberry lemonading.
Mm-hmm. That was a good tip. Maybe potentially the most important tip of the day, really.
I think it probably is.
Yeah.
But a lot of people forget that. So anyway, stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
our...
don't be shy. Don't forget to ask. It is free at most, if not all, quick service locations. Just go up to the cash register, and they'll be happy to assist you.
A lot of quick service like walk-up kiosks will have just a bunch of, on especially hot days, we'll have a bunch of cups of water just sitting out ready.
In a line out for you to grab.
They are for you. Yeah, if you see a bunch of cups of ice water sitting on the counter at the pickup window, they are for anyone. Mm-hmm. So don't be shy.
Help yourself.
Go grab them.
Okay. Next tip.
Tip number 8.
Avoid waiting in outdoor queues during the hottest part of the day.
Yes, and we're here at Slinky Dog Dash because it is the best example of a hot outdoor queue.
And it is the hottest part of the day.
It is the hottest part of the day. This is the place to avoid at the time to avoid it. That's why we're here, because we're testing these.
We are. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Next, let's continue on.
Yeah.
Walt Disney Presents is an exhibit that currently houses the One Man's Dream exhibit. We would rank this attraction as a 1 because the entire thing is indoors and air conditioned. It is nicely lit, very, very comfortable, very roomy. You can have an entire group walk through here and have no one needing to wait outside. We think this attraction is beautiful. I would say the only thing to be aware of is that they do not like food or beverages brought through this attraction. So while it's a 1 and it is incredibly comfortable and a really meaningful attraction, just make sure to finish your food and beverages outdoors before you enter this attraction.
The Little Mermaid Musical Adventure 3. While the entire show is indoors, as it's a stage show in an air-conditioned building, there is a kind of lengthy outdoor queue that is shaded, but very, very hot. Right now, it's still a popular show because it's new, so it's a 3 for now. Again, it might go down once the popularity wanes. Tip number 9.
Pay attention to where there might be extra air-conditioned gift shops at the exits of attractions. There are several gift shops that might not be obvious, and those are usually at the end of major rides. So, for example, right now we're standing in front of a giant Pixar ball in Toy Story Land, and that actually marks the exit pathway to Toy Story Mania, Midway Mania.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of people coming out from that direction, but if you actually walk into that direction, you will find a really cool Toy Story themed gift shop that is air conditioned and relaxing and a great place to enjoy some time for a little bit of a break.
Yep, let's go. And here we are at the gift shop at the exit of Toy Story Mania.
Yeah.
Just like that. And it's nice and air conditioned here.
Right.
We're cooling down already. We didn't even go on the attraction.
No, but we can enjoy the air conditioning nonetheless. And it's really highly themed and sweet. They have a lot of neat gifts that you can purchase. And they do some pin trading here. I think they even have some cold beverages that you can purchase for a refreshment. So yeah, it's a nice place to check out.
All right, next one.
Let's go.
Star Wars Launch Bay 1. You go right in. It's a huge building. You can meet BB-8, Chewbacca, and Darth Vader in there. It's a huge building that's all air conditioned. There's never a wait outside, so it gets our lowest ranking 1. It's a great place to go when you're out in the heat. Okay, last tip, number 10. Have an exit strategy. Have an emergency exit so you're not, when it's really hot out, so you're not out in the heat, walking around with a group, trying to figure out where to go. Don't feel bad jumping into an air-conditioned place. A show we're at Walt Disney Presents. It's a museum and there's a little show and stuff here, but don't feel bad about when you're overheated. Just pull over, get inside, then have the discussion.
Right, regroup when you're in a cooler environment. That it'll definitely cut down on stress. You'll all be a lot happier. You'll be able to make better decisions once you're cooled off and comfortable instead of standing in the blazing sun with a lot of foot traffic.
Right. So if you're not sure what your plan is, you have to get everyone's opinion. Just go in the air conditioning, then figure it out. Don't feel bad about just making a quick snap decision to go inside.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's all.
Exactly. That's why they're here.
Yeah, you'll thank us for it. Maybe you'll thank the air conditioning.
Yeah, or that, or both.
Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We gave this a range of 2 to 4, depending on the length of the queue. It could be a very pleasant wait if the queue is not very long, because a good portion of it is indoors in the air conditioning. However, if it is an especially hot day, and if the queue is longer, stretching outdoors, it could be pretty brutal as well.
All right, so those are our 10 tips for staying cool at Walt Disney World on a very hot day.
Very hot.
This is kind of specific to Hollywood Studios, but these same tips work everywhere.
They sure do. Yeah. Yeah. So if you think of anything else that we didn't mention, please feel free to mention that in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you can be notified anytime we post more content.
That's right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.